the Dja Dja Wurrung people for looking after and loving the land for such a long time before we did. We promise to pay respect to ourselves, respect to each other, and respect to the land.
So we've tried over a few years to implement an acknowledgement of country each day, and I've found it really difficult to do that. I was worried that it wasn't always authentic, and so this year we were able to install this large statue of Bunjil, which has given us a real centre and a place to work from. And with that, we now do an acknowledgement of country every morning underneath Bunjil, rain, hail or shine, and it's embedded in our program now. So we tried a few different things, and then when we'd settled upon something that was working for us, we worked with Kerry Douglas, who's the Career Engagement Support Officer for the Department of Education, and just made sure, she's also a Dja Dja Wurrung woman, to make sure that what we were doing was appropriate. I found that when we had tried to implement an acknowledgement of country, I felt like it didn't really work because I don't think we were considering the specific country that we were on. And so when we had Bunjil installed, it gave us a centre to work from, and reminded us of when Auntie Julie came and visited us and shared some teachings with us that we then use in our acknowledgement every day. So I feel like it's really rooted in Dja Dja Wurrung Country, and I feel like it makes it more authentic.
The celebrations, the good things that can happen in our life. I think the complexity around making people feel welcome is the individuality of the person and their life experiences, which are positive and negative. So if you think the presence, a reception, inviting space might have, would therefore be different to each person. So I think a form of solution, if you're a deliverer of services to a client, to a person, is to, at the initial stages, engage them in a conversation to understand what's important to them in feeling welcome. Yeah, so for me, I guess in what I would think would be welcoming would be actually the design of the space, that I guess when you come through a doorway or an entrance, that if it can be afforded to have it very open, that in itself I think is a cultural thing where we're not sort of constrained by buildings with walls, and so those types of things are important. I think the colour schemes, as we all understand, can be conducive actually to influencing people's thinking. So I have preferences around colours. I generally like the ochres, so maybe like the burnt oranges, the mustardy yellows, even the browns. I find them as a really enticing sort of experience as a colour. And I think the incorporating of I would say outside influences, so natural timbers, those types of things, I think for me sort of help me connect again to country, but now I'm inside a building, so they're very useful.
We try and practice culture regularly, dancing, bringing her to welcome her to country, so it's accustomed to her and our kids. So
I know for my kids, as kinders, they'd go to their kinder and see the Aboriginal flag, and that was a highlight for them, for children accessing and families accessing a service with a story behind that stuff.
It's not like the old time where you could go in and just sit down and have a yarn. And
I don't think I'm the only one who likes to actually have a person to speak to face on face, to ask, am I actually doing this correct? Is this what you actually want?
Understanding our past, that still reflects today, you know.
That was a good
Brought to us, not at us.
Yeah.
Can I do anything for you?
I think it's the meaningful engagement, it's the intake forms, you know, are you Aboriginal or Torres Strait? You know, where's your mob from? That can create some conversation. Oh, Swan Hill, oh yeah, cool, yeah, I went there on a holiday or something. There's an interest in something, not just that, because I think for community they look at it as it's a ticket box for funding.
things to make it easy would be Aboriginal flag, Torres Strait Islander flag maybe a welcome, Dja Dja Wurrung welcome to country on the door. Maybe just artefact in their room, you know, where they're interviewing. You know, something something just simple, that they identify with, because maybe even a gum tree or something, just a flower pot with gum trees in it. It's something that they identify with.
So whilst our NAIDOC weeks and reconciliation weeks are cram-packed full of the most amazing stuff by Mainstream, it's just incredible. But do you know what? It's the little things that make the difference, and the little things need to happen often. So as simple as putting through a little note, a small sentence on a pay slip to your workers, did you know? And just have something from the Closing the Gap, some statistics. That's all it needs to be, just little and often. But those big things are also great as well. But it's a constant discussion and conversation that we need to have.